Hello, welcome back everybody. Today is day 5 of my vlogging. It's 12/1/2021 and I'm under the installation um, foundations portion of the Odin project, and I believe this is module 4. What you see in front of you here is I'm inside of my VM now, inside of Xubuntu. If you didn't skip over the last video, um, I gave you a preview to excuse me, to this and what's to come. And pretty much all my videos from here on out are going to be inside this virtual machine, running in Oracle. Excuse me, Oracle VirtualBox. With this one's got a bunch of stuff installed. We'll go over today, but starting off with the basics of navigation and traversing the Linux structure and file structure. And this stuff was not new to me. However, it's been a long time, like I said in one of my previous vlog videos, it's been a long time since I've used Linux, so I took my time on this and relearned everything that I needed to know, which is reading through. This is one of the highlighted articles that I brought out from the section because it goes into great. I won't go through it here, but the URL's there if you're interested. It's also on the Odin Project's page. It goes into great detail of each command that's most common to Linux and Unix systems, but predominantly Linux, and what they do, how to use them, hard linking, forcing a link, symbolic links, using ls cd to change directories. Ls is list. Make dir to create a directory or folder, and rm to remove, and cp to copy. It's a very good article. It's very verbose. I did take my time and read through it all, like I said. It's a good place to start, and I like that where they had me go with that. So that brings us to right here. That's where I found this at. It's the command line basics. It just goes through and says test drive your terminal. Control Alt T is, like I mentioned in the uh, VirtualBox highlighted video I just uploaded. Did Control Alt T to bring up the terminal on the screen, and in fact, if you just do that here, I know you can't see my keyboard, but that's exactly what it does. So, and it talks about learning outcomes, what you're going to be learning, and then the assignments was basically doing a touch, which is creating a file. You can use touch, or you can use what they call echo. Uh, I personally am more familiar with touch, and that's what they recommend here. So it says to basically play around, create a test.txt document, and I did that in, I believe it was this window here. No, it was this window. So it truncated a little bit, but yeah, it starts off with like saying, who am I? So you run the command who am I, and it tells you who you are, basically who's logged into the system, the username. Boy, that highlighting is really terrible. Anyway, and then ls does a list. It shows your current working directory, which is a tilde, and shows all your folders. Touch.txt.txt creates that a text file, and there it is, showing it. And then it just goes through an example of creating multiple files at once of different file types, and then showing them show up there. It goes through the make dir mkdir test, and it created a test folder right there. And some, I won't be verbose about this and bore you with it, but it's all in the work, the module, creating code.test.test. Now, so when you run this command code, it's kind of cool. It actually brings up, which I wasn't aware of this, but it actually brings up VS Code once you have it installed, which I have. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but you type in that after you have VS Code installed, and it actually will open the test.txt inside of VS Code, ready for you to write code against or inside of. So that's really cool. That was probably one of the highlighting things, and just some more exercises having you go through and this is what I did when I edited the file. I just created when I did it in VS Code, I just typed a sentence. This is a test file for the Odin project, and I was just catting it so I could read it. Cat basically just prints the file test.txt onto the screen, onto the terminal, so you can see what it says. It's only going to show text. So if you have any images or anything else in there, it's going to get all garbled up. It's going to look messy. Unrecognizable characters, basically. Showing. I tried removing. Had a little rusty on that, and had to remember that RM by default doesn't remove a directory; it just removes files. So I had to do a capital switch R to remove the test folder, and then it did it. So that's kind of that. And so that just brings it all the way down, really. There's the exercises of doing it, and then the next lesson was setting up Git. And obviously I have Linux, as I've already went over, so I followed the Linux commands to install Git onto my system. It's self-explanatory here. Sudo apps to get you elevated, add the repository to your collection, and then update and install, and then run your version to make sure you're running the correct version. And then it goes through configuring your Git and GitHub. So here's your Git configuration with your name and example, your email address, changing the color UI, and then configuring your username and email. And then it tells you to go into github.com and create an account, which we already did earlier. And it walks you through creating the SSH key, which for obvious reasons I'm not going to show you here because that will reveal my key, which is a security vulnerability, so I won't be doing that here. But it shows you, it walks you through all that, how to run that, how to set that, how to validate it, how to link it to your GitHub account. It's actually pretty easy to do, and then they kind of congratulate you at the end and give you a little here's your good job, and then say, hey, if you're way over in your head, it's okay. I love how it gives a positive reinforcement there and tells you it's gonna be all good. I did have to go back into the cobwebs of my memory though, and have to remember how to install a Debian file. So one of the things I had to do is I had to download VS Code. It was one of the items to do. Anyway, it was on another page. It wasn't this one. Where was that? I think it was under command line basics, actually. Anyway, I won't bother to look for it. Anyway, I had you install it, and it came down as a Debian file, which I didn't know how to unpackage that. So I actually had to research that, and I ended up having to go over to the manual. And this is something that I will do more often, and something you guys should do too. Is don't be afraid to dig into the manuals. We talked about that in one of the previous vlogs, but don't be afraid to get in there. So I've got a manual installation guide from Ubuntu, which is the parent, basically what Xubuntu is built on, operating system. So I ran these two sudo files or sudo commands to run, and then it went ahead and unpackaged it. I didn't realize that Debian was a package. I couldn't remember, it's been so long. So it literally unpackaged it for me, and then so I ran that there, the sudo dp package -i. Sorry if I'm all over the place here. Unselected the package code, basically unpackaged everything, created the triggers, and then I was able to finish the install. It went really fast after it was unpackaged. Just running that there did it for me, and then I did a update as well. But yeah, so that was part of that. And then setting up Git, we already went over that. And introduction to Git. So this is where I stopped. I'd done a lot of installation. Got a lot done today. I'm pretty happy with the result. About an hour's worth of work, and so I stopped here. So this is where I'll start off tomorrow. Um, and yeah, so I just wanted to kind of show you that. There's the Debian package for VS Code, and this is and I created it on the desktop too. So this is not sure why the uh, icon's not showing up for that, but this is what it looks like when you launch it. There's my test.txt file that I made earlier. Of course, it's saying it cannot be found because I already deleted it through one of the exercises. And that's it. So, and that's what you come up with there. And that's basically it. So I'm going to not keep this running over. Oh, we went 11 minutes. It's my longest video yet. So I'm trying to keep these short and sweet and to the point. But I had mentioned to you guys in one of the earlier vlogs that as we get going, these are probably going to get longer as I have some more explanation that I want to put forth. So, but anyway, that's it. I got a lot done. Like I said, I feel real good about it, and not in over my head yet. But again, it's early yet, and we're just going to be getting into the coding part. So I look forward to everything to come, and I hope you do too, and come along for the journey. We'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye-bye.